Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. My name's BJ.
I'm Luke.
I'm Matt.
And this is Lance.
It's Lance, it's the boy.
Happy boy.
Do you want me to sit up here or do you want
No, he'd hate it.
Yeah.
Being cooped up. You can just do whatever you want. Just don't look at me like that.
He's interested.
He's like, I've never seen Dad work before.
It's true. It's true. I've always wanted to take him to like a job site and just have him.
Mill around.
Yeah, he'd like that.
Yeah, he likes adventures.
He does. And then I just find somewhere and he would just sit down and everyone would see him. There's one time where there was we were out in the middle of nowhere and just somebody's dog that was one of the roam free ones, but it was a good dog. It was like a golden retriever. He just came up to us during our lunch break and just said hi to everybody and then just went back to wherever he came from. I was like, what a cool dog.
Hell yeah.
He went on his own independent adventure.
Yeah, you don't need no man.
That's right.
He's just doing his own quest.
There was another time a super brought his little puppy to work, and I was like, you're not going to get anything done, and we're not going to get anything done.
Yeah.
With this cute dog's just running around.
So you see a cute dog and you expect me not to stop everything that I'm doing to pet him and say how much of a good boy he is?
Exactly.
Come on now.
What have you fuckers been up to?
I've been working a lot, so any of my game time has been very small, but it's been a mix of Helldivers 2 and Like a Dragon. And it's been really fun. I got to the island, and God, I hate it so much.
Why?
It's...
Well, first, it forces you into a very long tutorial.
It's obnoxiously long, where you have to wait the allotted 3-day timer before they go, okay, well, there's a turtle who can take you back to, or a dolphin who can take you back to Hawaii now. And I was like, thank God. And so I went.
Oh, I would have spent all my time doing that.
Oh no, I
spent a lot of time on it, but I haven't gone back to it since I left to do story again.
I did the barest minimum that I could do before I could leave, and then I was like, get me out of here. And then we had a mini power outage or whatever, and it didn't save. So it put me back to my save previously, which was before I went to the island, and I got so angry that I have not gone back to the game since that happened.
Oh my gosh.
And I've just been playing Helldivers 2. Because I do not want to sit through that fucking tutorial again.
I've also been playing a lot of Like a Dragon.
You got to what, chapter 10?
Yeah, I'm on chapter 10. I think I might have just gotten into 11.
Is it 12 or 13?
14 from what I read online.
Okay.
But it's so goddamn fucking sad. I'm in the thick of the bucket list quest now, and I just want to kill myself.
Is that what that punching bag is for now?
Yeah.
Punch out all the sadness
after
and anger?
I play one of Kiryu's bucket list quests, I'll go outside and be like, why?
You're Batman in the Injustice universe after Dick died. He's just punching a fucking wooden post till
yeah, exactly.
It almost feels like just like Night City and the world of Berserk,
Can't have shit.
Yeah, in Yakuza you can't I get that they might want to move to a new protagonist, but why you gotta do Kiryu so dirty like that?
Yeah,
let him just fade away, and then in 5 games be he passed away surrounded by people he loved. That would make me so happy.
But now where I'm at, it's okay, all the people that he loves, you get to see them and what they think about Kiryu and how much they miss him.
But from afar, though.
Yeah, and Kiryu has to sit in a bar and watch Date be so what did you really think of Kiryu? And then, oh my god, dude, I did the one with Kaoru.
Oh,
It fucking hurt so goddamn bad. It's the last one that you're able to get in chapter 10. The last couple are in chapter 12 is what it says. But oh my god, it's like Date. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not due to the main story, so I think you'll like this.
I'll be fine with it because I'll see it in context.
But Date meets her at a cafe in Igencho, and she like picks up her drink and like takes a sip, and he like focuses in on her hand, and she's not wearing a ring, and Date's like, "So what's that about? You never got married?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think I'm still like part of me still waiting for him."
Is that waiting for Kiryu? Mm-hmm. And Kiryu is watching.
Yeah,
this?
Kiryu is like in a bucket hat at the bar, and he's like drinking, and he's like, "Oh fuck." It's so bad.
Is that the
dude.
person he owned the orphanage with?
No, that's the girl. This is
from
Ryuji's
2.
sister that he fell in love with in 2.
Okay.
And they were ready to die together, but then the bomb never went off.
Like they were full on like hugging, like they had one last kiss.
There's another bomb in 2?
There's a
bombs in,
fuckload
like,
of bombs in 2.
Yeah.
Majima takes out most of them. The Majima family disarms most of them, but then there's
Majima
one
family, Majima Construction.
Right.
Yeah.
The clan formerly known as the Majima family takes out most of them, but then there's one at the top of it's not Millennium Tower, but Kamurocho Hills, and it's like the biggest one. And Kiryu is up there fighting Ryuji, and Kaoru's like, "We need to get the fuck out of here. There's a bomb right there." And he's like, "No, we need to finish this. We need to see who's the real dragon." And it's pretty tight. But then it's like, "Oh, we got 30 seconds left. We're never gonna make it down the stairs. Let's just like hold each other until we die."
And then something happens and it doesn't go off.
No, the timer goes off. Like it goes like all the way down to 0, and then the credits roll. And they don't let you know until after credits if they survived or not. Which, knowing where I'm like, oh, there's like 6 more games after this. He obviously lives. But I remember even playing that going, what? No, wait, what?
So in 3, do they reveal what happens?
Yeah, 3 picks up directly after 2 ends.
And then they go, anyway, so that romance story that y'all had, psych, Kaoru's going to America, and Kiryu's going to get the orphanage, so split them up. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, complete
A bunch
bullshit.
of, what is it, the people that like seeing people in pain?
Masochists.
A bunch of masochists.
Yeah, for real.
For whatever reason, they have this like weird with Yakuza. I would say it stopped at 6, but they always had this weird thing where they kind of have to have every Yakuza game kind of standalone.
Who's the main director of like the Elden Ring and Dark Souls games?
Miyazaki.
Did you see the interview with him that he was like, they're like, so like you obviously like seeing, like you're obviously a masochist because you like seeing people in pain like making these games. He's like, no. I like seeing myself in pain. Like, and he's like, I'm a sadist. Sadist. I'm a sadist. Like, I love seeing like the pain I put myself through it with these games. And we were like, everyone was like, oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Well, his whole thing with those games was that like he learned to read. Like he learned English by context clues. Like he knew a little bit, and then his mom had like English books that he just tried to figure out on his own, and he learned.
I mean, you can kind of reverse engineer Japanese that way too.
So he self-taught English, and that ideal of like just figure it out is what made him, is what his games are based on. And so that's why he makes them hard but doable. And so he's like, no, they can work. You can beat them. He's like, anybody can beat them. They just have to figure it out. And so that's the whole point of his games.
It's also really fucking crazy that Nagoshi went Monkey Ball, Yakuza.
Yeah. Well, he also did, what was it, like Daytona somewhere or other on the racing game?
It was
like,
one of the racing games.
He did like
and
a
then
bunch of
he
things.
was on the team for Shenmue, and I think that's where he got most of his like ideas from.
Well, because I know he wanted to make a game that was similar because he liked how GTA was big in the West for being like a crime drama kind of, and so he's like, I want to do that for the Yakuza, and then. Yeah, when they pitched it, it was like, no, it's not gonna work. And then he apparently snuck it into another meeting. With the new CEO.
He like soft pitched it.
Yeah,
with the it's crazy the success story that they have.
Yeah, and then you see him in like the Yakuza 4 press releases, and he's sitting there surrounded by like these just bitches,
like hostesses on an actual throne.
Yeah, he's sitting on a throne with these Gucci shoes with actual hostesses surrounding him, and he's just sitting there like, yeah.
That's what Monkey Ball does to a motherfucker. Did you guys hear about the Crazy Taxi news?
About the reboot?
Yeah.
No.
They apparently have a mode planned that is like an open battle royale kind of thing. What? So it's going to be 100 players on a map trying to get people from place to place without crashing into each other and losing time. and then like the last person like with time left like wins. So it's like Crazy Taxi Battle Royale is going to be one of the modes.
I'm kind of down for that. That sounds so.
It sounds really fun.
It's really interesting when games that are like have no business being a battle royale, like Tetris.
Yeah, the Tetris one was awesome,
There's also like Mario 99 and like Pac-Man 99 too,
and
like,
F-Zero now.
which apparently that one's really fun.
I played it. It's pretty cool.
Okay, I need to download
It's a
it.
battle royale.
Well, it's literally like the 99 players racing, last one standing wins. And so yeah, because you have like a
But in
meter.
that one, it's like it'll knock out chunks of players at a time. So it's like, oh, bottom 25, you're out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, the same happened with like Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I do feel like though there's like other games like battle royales that like do well for people that aren't like always like
who don't play BRs regularly.
or yeah that just aren't as good at video games. Like even like when Kevin was playing early game when there would be like a lot of bots and other things, like you could like when that you can just like hide and get to the final circle,
Yeah.
and then like third party the last person and win. But in those games it's like if you're not like up front the whole time,
Yeah.
you're just gonna, because they like a Tetris one, they just wiped out like you if you get enough what is it when you can do a line or a Tetris, it would knock out like 10 players, like no matter like how you, even if you were just in the bottom, you'd just be knocked out. And so it's like it's all skill based in that.
It's like,
I want to see Dig Dug 99.
that'd be
I
pretty.
fucking
Dig
love Dig
Dug.
Dug.
I played the shit out of Dig Dug.
That's the one game.
Bomberman, I also played the shit out of.
Bomberman's really cool. I have the Switch one if you ever want to play
I
it.
was gonna say I forgot they launched a Bomberman on the Switch.
Yeah, and then the sequel to it, they came out with the one on Switch, and then they released it on everything like 2 years later.
Fuck.
And then the sequel to that game released on everything except Switch, and then it came to Switch later as like a digital port. There's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, just to date the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a partner showcase, so all things that are coming to Switch,
Third
not
parties?
Yeah.
third-party stuff.
I'm excited for it just because I think there'll be some good stuff in there. Plus, because I
After the near port,
do you have
sky's
any,
the
like,
fucking limit.
Any predictions of who could show up?
hopefully they finish the Devil May Cry porting.
Yeah, I want to see Sega come with something. Like, because they did that whole initiative in the Xbox show that we watched, was it? Where they were like, hey, we're bringing back all the classic franchises. And here's like a list of them. And also a picture of like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. And that's it.
I
So
mean, I'm super stoked for those two. Do we have a release date for any of that?
No, they just said, hey, we're working on all the shit that you actually like.
I mean, to be fair, it looked... Even though it's really hard to say when you see like previews of games.
I mean, it seems like they're all going to be like indie style.
Well, I'm saying it's really hard to say to put timelines on, because like, I mean, like what was that one game that was supposed to be like Destiny that the trailer that they put out was all fake?
Anthem.
Yeah, it's like, so it's like it's really hard to like when they put out trailers to know how much is done. But then you see something like what you saw with Crazy Taxi, and you're like, that looks
pretty damn good.
Yeah, that looks pretty
and
good.
I think the reason
Pretty good.
it's pretty good, but the reason they're doing all that, I think, is because of the Streets of Rage 4 thing, like that coming out and being like a smaller title, still, side scrolly, and it doing so well. I think that made Sega realize like, oh, people like actually do like smaller games, even though like what was it, Sonic, not Origins, the one that
Mania?
Christian Whitehead, yeah, Mania. Sonic Mania came out the same year as Sonic Forces and blew it out of the fucking water. Everybody loved it because it was a 2D Sonic game, but then they made a big 3D one and everybody hated it because it was dog shit.
Yeah.
And now they're finally realizing like, oh, these smaller games can do well for us. We just need to put effort into them.
Now they flipped the script where the big 3D game everybody loved and the new 2D one was dog shit.
Yeah. And Yakuza is just the standout.
Yakuza and Persona seem to be the only things they have that are like consistently doing well. Because both Persona 3 Reload and Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth both sold over 1 million copies in their first weeks. So and it's like, oh yeah, they're definitely doing it.
It's pretty evident that a lot of like games that are very profitable and popular in Japan are becoming popular and profitable here in the U.S.
I think that's the case.
Is there a reverse? Like, are there any games that have been put out recently?
Red Dead 2 did exceptionally well in Japan.
Okay, really?
That's wild.
Because you know what did even better than Red Dead 2 in Japan?
I will get
fucking Witcher 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that one kind of makes sense because the Japanese really like that whole like
Dark fantasy vibe. Well, case in point, like when Final Fantasy 15 was exponentially like they were like Witcher 3, do open world like that, and they didn't succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But Final Fantasy 16 was like Game of Thrones and Witcher 3. Like,
Well,
look
like
at those
because
two.
it's really
Like,
interesting because like you'll see like other games franchises do really well in Asia, just not Japan. Like there's like even like COD and COD Mobile like do really well in Asian countries.
Yeah, like Korea has a big.
esports scene, especially for the
Yeah.
mobile side.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like even like I mean, we can go like there's so many I can name like League, all this stuff, but then you never see like just like League does really well in Japan.
You never
and Korea.
see like Mass Effect
Like,
do like big numbers in Japan.
That's
like
what I'm
Yakuza,
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very,
Well,
especially when like, I mean, we've talked about this before, but like after World War II, how influential American culture was on Japanese culture, but it just is interesting how like other things haven't connected or translated that have just stuck within Japanese culture.
I think it's just the fact that Japanese gaming overtook American gaming because like, you look at like the Atari, ColecoVision, all this other stuff, and then Nintendo comes in and says, "Fuck all that shit. We're playing Mario. This is made by Japanese people with Japanese sensibilities." And then it's like weird and out like everything that like a lot of American and European studios tried to put out couldn't hold a candle to how weird Japan was. But like in a good way where like people were going, that's fucking odd, that's interesting, because it was shit people had never seen before. Like Final Fantasy like coming out was like, hey, like people played Ultima on PC and then Dragon Warrior at the time, but then they're like, no, let's do this Final Fantasy thing, and it was the first time you saw your characters on screen. Like Dragon Quest before, it was like the enemies are there, and you just make moves, and you'll see a sword slash, you'll see a magic burst. That's it.
Oh.
Final Fantasy, the first one was, here's your party on the right side, enemies on the left, go. And it was, and again, the way Japanese role playing games worked were so different from Western role playing ones because of like how Japan does their storytelling as opposed to the West.
Yeah.
And you even see that now with games like Fallout, Witcher, Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, where it's like a lot of choice-based narratives. And you go to Japan, it's like, no, we have the story, you do the story, but they give you freedom in how you customize the characters. That's their choice and consequence versus the narrative one. There's like a lot of just different ways Japan handles that I don't think a lot of Western games can really emulate in a way that Japan will want. Like Witcher 3 is like the weird one where like Game of Thrones and Witcher 3 were huge in Japan because they had like Japan loves fantasy shit.
Yeah.
And seeing like what is like the pinnacle of dark fantasy in both of those, I would argue it's like, oh, this is great. And then
Does Skyrim do well in Japan?
yeah,
Okay.
I think Elder Scrolls in general, Fallout doesn't. Fallout does not.
Well, yeah,
to be
'cause
fair,
Fallout is
so,
full of American propaganda.
It's so American.
It is satirized, but it is.
It's satirized, but also like when your country was like, oh, nuclear bombs.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then,
But on the other hand, you think that would make them be like, "Fuck yeah, fuck you, you got nuked this time, bitch."
but to be fair, even playing Fallout 4, there's like even when you see all of like
Well, the first place you go is all this, like old school American propaganda type.
I mean, even 4 with like the Minutemen, like
Yeah.
like everything like about it. Even for me, like I get hyped by all of like all of that stuff.
Dude, all those Liberty Prime voice lines get me going.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of, and I feel like this is very topical. I mean, we were talking about it before, but we should do it on pod. Helldivers is. I was trying to explain it to a coworker today, and I think I turned him off on the best part of it, which is like.
It is the most satirical propaganda-y shit.
But here's the thing that I was thinking about when I was talking to him. Like, if bugs arose on another planet, I would be like, freedom, let freedom fucking ring.
Yeah.
It's time to spread some democracy. Like, it hypes me up, even though it's satirical. I'm in. Like,
Bro.
I don't know if that makes me a bad
Well,
person. I
have-
don't know if
have
that
you s-
makes me like a fascist.
I think it's a little bit different because it's like the whole world versus an off-world enemy. That's completely different from being like, we need to stomp out these people in the jungle.
yeah.
True, but
Well,
like
also,
I mean,
there's
like
something-
like
there-
I would be my mantra is like the only good bug is a dead bug. Like I'd be that motherfucker screaming that like taste
you would be,
taste my democracy.
You'd be Neil Patrick Harris going like, it's scared.
it's afraid.
It's scared!
Dude, 100%.
I mean,
like
the
to be
amount-
fair, like the satirical part of Helldivers is what hypes me up. I'm like, that's the thing. It's like
I'm not gonna lie.
if it bleeds, we can kill it. Fuck yeah,
I saw
Yeah, that goes hard.
dude, that goes so hard. Like
when I was scrolling TikTok and it was one of those like different posters, like someone made
Uh-huh.
like propaganda posters. The one that had a Helldiver standing up with his gun there and his foot in an automatron's face, and it just said "spill oil," got
Yeah.
me like
because
uncomfortably.
it's one and it's
hyped.
drawn like the berserk panels where he
Yeah.
goes crazy.
Yeah.
I got uncomfortably hyped. Where I'm like, "Fuck yeah!"
Dude, 100%. Like it gets me going. Like that's what I'm like. Is that like I don't know what that says about me, but I'm okay with it because it gets me so hyped. I would love to spread freedom.
If I'm not
to fucking some bugs, some
if
alien
I'm
bugs.
not last man
100%.
standing, a bunch of automatrons with separate waves playing in the background, I don't fucking want it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a cool game. I mean, some of my favorite parts. It's like
I mean, humans are addicted to glory.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of these like the reason Elden Ring did so well on TikTok is because it's like, you know, you pair that fucking song with it and then you show a guy doing like a fucking blood
sickest
attack
shit, yeah.
on a boss and it's like, I'm getting some.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Well, like there's okay. So was the first Helldivers game was the same thing where everyone's working through a common goal?
Yes, but it was
the
a
whole
top
player.
down. Like,
Yeah. But the whole player
Yes.
base was working towards. I think that is so.
it's so
It's
genius.
a really interesting
It's
concept.
genius.
And
But what they do with that is so brilliant because if you teleport to a planet before you jump in, so you select your mission, you teleport to the planet before you jump in and ready up, you can see all the
other
spaceships
ships.
of all the strike teams, and you can see when their ships fire. What are they called? Stratagems.
Yeah.
Firing stratagems from their ships, and when they fail, you'll see their ship blow up. Like even in the background, they display that is amazing.
Seeing other Helldivers drop from your ship, like while you're on the you look out the giant window and you just see them, like you're like, oh, this fucking so sick, dude.
Yes, dude. It's amazing. And then like having your ship be above you when you're calling down, like, you know, orbital strikes. It is such a cool game.
Nothing is more like stress inducing when it's like you've missed the time window and you're like, you have no more stratagems, you can't resupply, you can't revive. We're gonna send a shuttle out. You better be there.
It's
in
like a
2
minute and a
minutes.
half.
It's 2 minutes.
It's so long.
and you have to book it because you could be so far away from the drop point. You have to book it, and you have to like protect the spot because they're gonna swarm it.
yeah, that was the
it
situation
is-
I found myself in last night. I didn't see a single bug up until I got to the point where I had to upload the data, and I was walking back to the extraction point, and then just a big motherfucking bug comes around the corner, and all his little underlings. I'm like, oh shit, start booking it. You know, I get killed because they're all coming at me from different angles, and then I get to the actual extraction point, and I'm like, yes, put in the combo, I'm out of here. And then
2
it's
minutes.
like, yeah, you gotta wait around. We're gonna drop a guy for you, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta survive.
Getting right now, like I've been rocking. I have like an airstrike cluster that just shoots a bunch of debris down to people. I have 2 turrets that I will put up. So yeah, I usually, like, if I'm stuck in a spot where I'm like, I'm fucked, I'll throw a turret down, and it will just, you know, ransack these things.
So people
But-
found a glitch where you can select one stratagem and put it in 4 slots. So pretty much you can just have 4 of the same stratagem.
Mm-hmm.
And people will set down either 4 auto turrets or 4 mortars. And it's insane. Like when a mortar detects somebody, it's just like 4 of them just go boom.
Damn.
And it's
Have you seen
it's
the
so cool.
was it called the Hell Bomb?
Oh yeah,
It's
it's just like a
just a nuke.
JDAM. It's just
like
a
like there. So it's funny. Have you found the? Because I found out what they did the first time, where I just found an empty one, or one that was just like, oh, it's just a bomb there, and I shot it and it exploded.
Yeah.
And like I'm talking nuke level, and I died. I was like, oh fuck. That's
Well,
what they
here's
do.
the other thing for
Yeah.
keyboard. Like, there's so many. Like, again, it's like Elden Ring and it's like Baldur's Gate. It's just taking everything by storm. People are like putting up tips, best loadouts, and then the other one, which was like made so much sense, is for PC players. It goes like PC players that use WAS to enter stratagems, and it's like, and then the next picture was the Chad face of people that use the arrow keys to do stratagems. I was like, oh my gosh, it changes everything.
Yeah,
Because
it-
I was
it is
using
just like-
WSD to do the stratagems, but I was like, if you just use the arrow keys
can
on the
still
side,
move and
yeah,
still-
you
yeah.
can still move and go. And I was like, that changes everything.
Doing. I will say on controller it's weird because you have to use the keypad, or the not keypad the
thumb
pad.
D-pad, yeah.
And so you have to move your thumb off the
Yeah, no,
stick.
it would. Yeah, on the.
I'll do.
That's when you need to adopt like the
I'll do
Elden
the-
Ring claw.
Yeah. So no, I'll do it, and I'll be running, and I'll just go immediately back.
Yeah. But then it was so funny because again, people are putting it's so crazy how like what happens when you get all these people that are just making content, because then the next day I saw a TikTok that was like people that know about the arrow key assigning arrow keys to the stratagems but still use WS and it was like super Chad, and I was like somebody made a meme of a like a tip, and like it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
I've only played the 2 missions because I was on Matt's account last night. I haven't bought it yet, but I played the one where you have to upload.
You can keep on playing until you buy it, man.
Thank
All
you.
you, dog.
But I got an achievement on your account because I was fighting a bunch of fucking robots, and
You were up against the automatrons?
yeah, it was a mission where it was like you have to extract these 30 like scientists, and I got like 3 of them out, and then I got fucked. But I was playing, and I was surrounded, and they were throwing grenades at me, and then I noticed if you run near the grenade, it'll give you a prompt to throw it back at them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck. So I started doing that, and then I realized if you hold your grenades, you can run the fuse down and then toss it so it just explodes on impact. There's a lot of shit in that game.
Well, like I saw
apparently-
one where somebody you can jump on grenades and like to save your teammates.
Damn.
They're by the
You
way,
just dive on top of
on,
it and
on
it,
higher
and it negates it.
difficulties, the bugs will hit the grenades back.
Oh my god.
I threw one.
I've only done basic missions
Bro,
because
our Mo's crew did a suicide mission. Fucking, it was the most stress-inducing thing ever. But literally, I threw a grenade, and this one bug just reared back, and I saw it hit its claw, and it flicked it right back at us, and me and my boy Tanner died.
I saw
and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
an
They can
amazing
do that
TikTok
now?"
where some guy was throwing a grenade and it was towards just a large group of bugs, but he was aiming for like a larger one to do not a grenade, he was throwing an orbital strike stratagem. So it's like he throws it, and then it counts down like 3, 2, 1, and at 1 one of the bugs jumps and it's attached to the bug, and the bug jumps on him, and it strikes him, and I was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
I died during that robot mission, and then I redropped, and I was able to get it right on top of one of those AT-ATs. It felt really good.
Dude, no, there,
Sometimes I like just fucking with other people, but just trying to land on my teammates. Just
bro, my buddy Luis was like, he was respawning. He's like, please try to land on this thing, please, dear God, it's chasing me. And so like I'm trying to aim it. I see this big like poison spewer thing, and I'm like, I can get it. I landed, and the gut like just explosion was the most. I was like, let's fucking.
We've
go.
talked about this before, but I think we're in like a golden age of some games,
dude.
Yeah.
It's not because of like people like a normal big studio. So it's not because of
it's the
not,
smaller
like it's not
like
because like
double A
even though
studios.
Last of Us and God of War are great games. It's not because that. It's because of like
Well,
like
those are the games you expect to do well.
Yes,
it's games that come out that take you by surprise.
yeah, Baldur's Gate, Helldivers.
I'll say Elden Ring, because, like-
100%.
Because like people didn't expect Elden Ring
That's
to
the
blow
biggest
up as
exposure to Souls
Yeah.
that everyone's ever had.
I wouldn't expect that
we
game
are
to
in
blow
like
up as
such
much
a
as it
good age. Like I to be fair, like it'll be different, but Helldivers has that same feel as what like the Space Marine Warhammer community feels like.
Yeah.
Like it's against pretty much essentially it's the Tyranids and as the bugs versus the Eldar as the automatrons, or not Eldar, the Tau. Tau is the mechanical. They're the but it's that same thing of like, because I think Space Marine 2 is gonna get like the TikTok edits.
Yeah, it's
gonna be like
crazy.
everyone's gonna be memeing like for the Emperor, like it's gonna be that. That's my prediction.
I don't know if the game will. I 100% think Henry Cavill's stuff that he does with Amazon will, because people love Henry Cavill. People love the fact that he's whatever, and the fact that he's such a huge fan.
I mean, I've seen some footage of the game. I think if Helldivers is doing what it's doing right now because people are seeing gameplay, I think Space Marine could do the same thing.
I think Space Marine is maybe going to be one of the best looking games to come out.
I mean, if you think about it, we haven't really had like true next gen like looking games.
It's Unreal 5, and it looks I mean, all of it looks like the in-game, all of it looks like the cinematic footage that people put out that's not like real game. It looks so pretty.
Speaking of that, there was the guy on like YouTube was making a complaint because he's like, I miss old Square Enix, all this stuff, and he said like something about they don't do like the big CGI cutscenes anymore. Everything's in game, and someone went like, no, they do. They just look.
It just looks like the
so
gameplay
close
now.
And he's like, and he was like fighting people like, no, they don't. And someone had to point.
Dude, like 16 is full of those.
Well, 16 was like, so this big one where Bahamut and Odin fight, that's the CG cutscene that then transitions to a regular cutscene, right? Like with no whatever. And then he goes, this point where Bahamut's riding.
People are so
thing,
dumb.
Yeah, it was this thing where it's like
that's the best thing. It's the seamless
getting
a cinematic.
It's
and
like just going into combat.
It was the worst when, like, I mean, to
Remake
be fair,
did that really well too.
Well, I will say
like
Remakes was
games,
very noticeable because of how shiny their hair was, and like almost like it's like that big cutscene right before the Sephiroth fight.
Yeah,
that was the CG cutscene, and then immediately it was like, oh, we're back.
Well, because the best part about it is like, I mean, like in older games, we would like look forward to those cutscenes because it'd be prettier and other stuff. But now with it being so seamless, it doesn't break. It does. You're like, this game, because all you think is like, oh, like I'm just waiting for the cinematic. It's like, oh shit, this game is so pretty because it's so seamless. Because like
it's weird seeing, because like me and BJ grew up on like because Square Enix was big on that, where like you play Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like you play the Kingdom Hearts opening movie and you're like, my fucking life is different now.
Yeah. Like, or you play like Final Fantasy, like playing Crisis Core, and look at this PSP graphics, and then then the scene of Sephiroth, Angeal, and Genesis fighting is this beautiful like CG cutscene that was like, oh my gosh, and then back to the choppy.
What's so
PSP
good about it is it makes like things that I do enjoy in video games more feasible, like QuickTime events, QTEs. It makes QTEs so cool because it's like it's a cutscene that you have to input, so you're still playing. It's like you're playing through a cutscene. Or playing through a cinematic.
Does that incredibly well.
Well, yeah. So you're playing through a cinematic, so it's like it's engaging and it's beautiful because it's all in game. You're like, it doesn't
you still feel the tension.
Yeah, it doesn't take you out, but then at the same time, it makes you feel like you're a part of the cutscene. You have to do something to make sure this amazing in-game footage goes on the way it's supposed to. Like,
I've never understood.
It makes QTEs so like
I've never understood the hate QTEs get. Because people like have a vitriolic I hate that.
They're stressful.
There are times where they fucking suck, and that time is Sonic Unleashed.
Oh fuck!
When you're in that hour-long stage and you're like, oh, I have to go over a jump, but you have to hit X 8 times and then A B.
Well, like I love even though they were stressful, I love the QTs in all the Dark Picture films. Or games.
I mean, yeah, those games are built around those.
100%. That is the gameplay. But that's like one of my favorite parts because you're still in game. What you do fucking matters. It's not even like, oh, if you fail it, you have to restart. It's like you fail it, somebody dies.
Someone is dead forever.
Yeah,
well, that's what I like Yakuza,
which is crazy that I got the Diamond Chief.
Yeah, for doing that one perfectly.
Absolutely perfectly. Yeah.
What's the one? Dead
Not
by Daylight?
Man from Medan?
Yeah, to get Iceman out of there.
Yes. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because it was on the boat. And
I'm saying, is it Man from Medan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
the first one was Man from Medan. Second one was House of Ash.
Yeah, so it was Man from Medan.
Yeah.
But you also got the Diamond Achievement on
Until Dawn, right?
Until Dawn, because you did everything perfectly to escape the killer as Hayden Panettiere or whatever fuck name is.
But yeah, so like that was so I hate that then, but the problem is I did it perfectly and I got fucked over for it too.
Yeah.
They're like, you only, and it wasn't even like, because Diamond Chiefs only apply when it's 10% or less than 10%.
Yeah.
So 9.99999.
Which he also got for beating Yakuza 0. The last 3 chapters were all diamond achievements.
Diamond
I was
Achievers,
so pissed.
But the thing is, though, is it wasn't even like, it was 8%. It was like, I got the chief, and they were like, 1% of people have done this. And I was like, let's go. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that brother, when he comes back, he dies. I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, getting diamond achievements in Infinite Wealth because I've played it like day one was kind of fun. Where I'm like,
100. That
like, no one's done this.
Note,
Sick.
the little note they do is so satisfying.
Do you see Xbox is thinking about adding a like platinum equivalent?
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Dude, that's the thing.
Do it. I would love that.
I will say, like, I'm not an achievement guy.
But I do like
But I will say, like, there has been games where I play where I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, having that platinum trophy on PlayStation would, like, I kind of
But
down
that's
for
what
it.
I
I
meant.
do think
But
it's
not having
more
one-
fun knowing where I am in comparison
Oh, yeah,
to other players.
but, like-
That's why I like Diamond. Is like
having
you are
that, like-
better than other people, and I'm like, I know.
I know they definitely got to keep that, but having that like you've completed the game achievement, because that's what a platinum is for PlayStation, is like you've done everything, you've gotten every trophy.
But
everything
isn't
else.
platinum also like for really rare achievements?
No,
or
they
platinum is
have,
just for
they
completing?
have
They
so-
have levels of
Yeah.
trophies on PlayStation.
Yeah, gold, silver, but I thought platinum also applied to rare. But platinum is
platinum
just
is
100% in a
platinum
game.
is you've 100% in a game. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily 100%, just you've gotten all the trophies, because that doesn't necessarily mean you've 100% in a game.
Oh, you got all
yeah.
the trophies.
So you've done
Okay.
every trophy, which some of them are fucking outrageous.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But
has
every
a
once in a
trophy tied to
while-
hard mode, and it's like I'm never fucking doing that.
Every
shit.
once in a while, though, you'll find a game and you're like, I need to do it for this. Like when Sonic Frontiers came out, I spent a couple of hours just doing that on Steam.
I'm like this close to having a platinum on Devil May Cry 5 because I'm like almost all S ranks. There's like a handful of missions that I can't fucking do it, and I'm so angry. But I'm like I'm gonna do it one of these days.
That'd be crazy doing it in like with like neon white.
I tried. Because I got to the point where they introduced rocket launchers, and then it was just like I can't figure out the best fucking route to do this. But I had the platinum time.
What is the rocket launcher special ability?
The rocket launcher is it's a zip line, but also if you point it at a wall that you're close to, it'll boost you up, so you can
Like rocket jump?
Yeah, it's basically just rocket jumping.
Okay.
So once they introduce that, it's like, okay, there's a billion things you could do to
You
get
could jump
to the end
over,
of the
yeah.
stage. Yeah, and it's just hard to figure out what
To be fair, it was okay. My fingers hurt after playing it, but when you would be watching me, you're like, "There's a better route," and then I would try and try again, and then I'd figure it out. You'd be like, "Let's go."
There you go.
Neon White's basically speedrun, right? Like try to get the fastest.
Oh, the whole
times.
thing.
Yeah.
Even not recently. When I was playing it, I mean, because Google tracks everything. On my YouTube page, it was developers react to a speedrun.
We watched that together.
And
That was,
they were like, "Yeah, we didn't even intend for this to happen, and we're like not mad about it."
yeah, there's that one stage where you're supposed to go around the garden to get to the stage, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I should have put a point over there because I never expected some guy to just jump over the wall and just finish the stage."
Yeah.
What was the
Gets in, like, 3
what was the
seconds.
developer speedrun where they were getting mad at it? Like,
Uh,
I forget which.
I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah, because I know weren't the Doom ones like laughing?
I think so.
Yeah, because they were like losing their shit, just be like, "Holy fuck, did you not patch that in?" He goes, "I guess I didn't."
Because I remember the one you're talking about because they were like, "You're not supposed to play it like that."
Yeah, like they were getting really butthurt that like you didn't play our scripted level design thing.
Instead of just being like, "Oh, somebody loved our game enough to figure out a cool way to beat it."
Because I remember seeing the Doom ones where they were like laughing because they were like, "Holy shit, did we not patch that out?" And they're like, "No," and they're like, "Fuck." That's funny. And like they were laughing at it.
I found out something crazy about the Doom games recently. When you put on colorblind mode in Doom or Doom Eternal, they didn't understand what that means. So whenever you turn on colorblind mode, it simulates what it would be like to have that type of colorblindness. Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's not to help the colorblind.
It's to actively impair yourself. To be like, oh, now I'm colorblind.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And they did it in both games.
Dude, I cannot wait for the next Doom game. Like that is
It's
a game
going to
I'm
have to be big.
I mean, I think it will be.
Doom reboot is probably one of the most successful reboots of all time.
I totally agree.
God of War is like up there, but Doom is just
Doom
came out. Look at the reaction when they revealed that first one. It was insanely electric.
The thing with Doom is like the last game we had was a really shitty. Well, not shitty. I think Doom 3 is pretty good, but like Doom 3 was not what people wanted out of Doom. It was a survival horror shooter instead of a action like shooter, and people were like, I don't like this. Whereas Doom 2016 was like, you just want to fucking kill demons in the coolest way possible? Fuck it, go nuts. And it was like that I don't know,
with like the most aggressive soundtrack of all time.
Yeah, yo, shout out Mick Gordon. That shit.
I
is
still
fire.
listen to All They Fear Is You.
There's all they fear is fear, or all you need to fear is fear itself, or what is it?
All They Fear Is You is from Eternal, and that there's two versions. The one that's the official one, and the one that Mick Gordon actually.
Mick Gordon, yes.
Like
the voicing.
Did. The vocal one is a cover.
The vocal one is my favorite one.
Yeah, it's insane. Just Rip and Tear in general is like a
Rip and Tear goes hard.
What is the one I'm thinking? It's like all you need to fear is fear itself.
The one that with the vocals is all. What was the one you just said?
All They Fear Is You.
All They Fear Is You. And
but when I was still doing detailing and recon work, we would turn on the Doom soundtracks in the shop, and we just.
Oh, it is just all they fear.
It was the most motivating thing ever.
It gets that blood pumping, dude.
Yeah, dude, working on cars, like fucking grinding on something, and then that shit's going. You feel like a god,
dude.
I actually have a story to tell about that. I was at work one day, and I had to detail this Porsche. It was a red like Porsche, and they just wanted it like waxed. And my buddy Scott, who was my boss at the time, was like, hey, I need you to go over there and wax his Porsche. But first, do you want to hit my dad pin? And I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm going to put on some music and have a good time. So I take his pin and I go, and I'm sucking on it for a long time. And he had that look on his face like, oh no. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go get this shit started. You
didn't cough up a lung?
I mean, I did. Okay. But then I get over there, I'm sitting on my little stool.
Those dab heads sneak up because usually with like a joint or any other like smoked leaf, you can feel when your lungs are filled up and you can feel,
but
feel
with
the
those
capacity.
things, it starts smooth.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh, there's nothing
in
my lungs, and then you blow it out and there's very little smoke, and then you're like, I'm dying.
But then I sit on my little stool, I'm low to the ground because it's a Porsche, and I'm putting my stuff on there, and then Scott is watching me on the cameras this whole time. I found out later. But I start like getting into it. I'm listening to like some smooth jazz, and eventually like it's on one of those rolling stools, so my hips just start moving with the thing, and I'm just like,
oh, so you were grinding on it?
Yeah, I was fully grinding on this car. I was just into it, and Scott was like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Yeah, man."
So you got high as shit, and the Porsche made you feel some type of way, and you just.
I need to find somebody around here that just has like a really nice car that I can come and like wash every week, and then one day he'd be like, "Here, take it out for a little ride."
Yeah, just worm your way in.
Yeah,
Parasite style.
100%. This is my house now.
Bro,
and then you kill the dad.
Yeah,
kill the dad. Live in the bunker for 20 years.
Yeah, and then cause their son to have epilepsies.
Bro, that shit was still so terrifying. Just him staring.
It's one of the scariest things I've ever seen in a movie.
I loved watching that with you guys. It was so good.
Because we all saw the autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah,
but we watched that with Tyler.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tyler, we need to bring him back for Dune.
Okay, hear me out. People. It has been said that people who did not like the first Dune will absolutely love. If you like Denis Villeneuve, or
the director,
the director. If you liked Blade Runner, if you like Sicario, if you liked his, he did
Sicario. Yeah, shit.
If you like those movies, he did Arrive. Oh no, he didn't do. Maybe he did. Arrive.
He did some other sci-fi thing.
Yeah,
sure.
if you like those movies, you will love.
Well, this is the problem.
And I'm so aware. I just want you to love it mostly because
I know you do.
I seriously love the director. I think it's so him. It's so not.
I mean, I love everything else that he's made.
I think this is the problem with Dune.
And I also love the Dune universe. I've listened to the audiobook the full way through. It's a 21-hour audiobook.
It's good.
Like 3 times.
The thing for me, so the thing with Dune, and this is the problem with any movie that goes, we're going to do part 1 and part 2. your part 1 is always going to be boring as shit for some people because it doesn't have. Because the thing with a story, right? You have the rising action,
and then there's
whatever.
payoff.
Yeah,
But-
whereas the first part, like case in point, Dune 1, I liked it, but I will agree with BJ that a lot of it was just exposition heavy
But that's
until the
I'll
end.
tell you this: I actually
And
like
then-
that because after listening to the books, and we don't have to get into because I allow you to feel your own thing. But what I do
He'll allow
love
it
about,
until Dune Part 2 comes out, then it's going to be a
no,
problem.
it's okay.
I'll tell you this much.
I know. To be fair, my love of Dune outweighs my ability to have difference with BJ's opinions.
That was like
Wait.
sipping on.
So your love of Dune is greater than his opinion on like so.
My value of his opinion on Dune,
Okay.
which is okay.
Okay.
That means I'm sure of what I like.
Listen to the Dune cast and let us know if that's true, fans.
What is it? Episode like 30 something.
Bro, it's still so it's I will that's the one I go back to listen to the most.
So my
Just for
favorite
your
part
bit.
is
I think it's episode like 33 to 36.
my favorite part is remembering Matt staring daggers at me across the table, and then him looking at Tyler and saying, "He won't even look me in the eyes."
I still love that because like being the guy who knew and having to try to
hate
steer
you
the
too.
conversation,
Yeah, I
was
need-
like you're like no fuck this. Let's all like let's all just talk about no Matt you start.
I was like, this
give
is
it-
dumb.
Yeah, and you're like this is stupid whatever. But we went through.
I was
and
like,
then
fine, I'll do what you want.
And then all right, BJ.
Okay, but
so good.
what I like about it is because if you read the books, it's so heavy with like implied stuff. When the real message is the idea of like Muad'Dib and the creation, it's like the book doesn't touch on the mystical. It goes through like this is going through firsthand encounters of each of these characters, and you're like, and you don't understand. They don't elicit the gravity of what it means for the people of Arrakis, the Fremen, and like that it's like it is this it's not like, oh, this guy came around and now we follow him. It's like this long awaited messiah of the Fremen people. It's the overthrowing of the emperor. Like it's all these things that are so large scale, and they bring in the mysticism, and that's what I love about it. It takes from the book that's like dialogue heavy, this is how I feel, oh, this is a lot to deal with, and makes it like it third person's it, and I like that a lot. It makes
But a lot of the book is also like
Not
that stuff that you're saying, but it's a lot of people like thinking, could this even possibly be what was prophesized, and their feelings about that.
But
that hits really
I also
hard.
think
But I'm saying it would be hard though in a movie if the whole time everyone's doubting it, and then in the end they go, actually he was.
I
if
think
they start the movie as like, no, like this is for real, and it makes you the whole time a believer of Paul. Like that's what I'm saying. So
I think-
to me that like I love the mysticism and the weird drawn out shots and the ululations and the dreams and the cologne
Colonialism?
the cologne like commercial esque-ness.
I was like, what the fuck?
No, like all the stuff of his dreams is
Yeah.
like all a cologne commercial.
I think for me,
Yeah. I adore it.
because I like it because I like stupid art housey bullshit sometimes, and I'm like, this is great, and I also love really stupid sci-fi shit.
But I would
like-
put Blade Runner 2049 in stupid art house bullshit, but it's good.
Yeah, I'll give it in there. To be fair, I'm the middle ground between both of you. I think Dune is really good. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece like you do, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as you think it is. But like, I definitely think Dune 2 is gonna be the more beloved entry because all the shit's gonna happen.
I also saw I didn't realize what a joyful person Josh Brolin is.
Yeah,
I saw a clip of him doing an interview with somebody, and
he's a nice dude.
who's the guy who plays Paul?
Timothy.
Timothy Chalamet, and
Timothy.
Jared Butler. Gerard Butler, like come in to his
The
interview.
guy with Elvis, or no?
Yeah.
yeah.
And they like crash his interview, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, hi guys!" And he is like hugging them and like kissing them on the cheeks, and he's like, "I just love you boys so much." And I was like, I did not see Josh Brolin being such like a joyful person when him being like Thanos or
Old boy.
old boy.
Or Cable and
Cable.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
The guy in
he always
Sicario.
plays like
Yeah.
the tragic.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, even you guys haven't seen it, but we like eventually we should watch it. Is the Hole which is the that weird sci-fi cowboy show that he's in, which is nobody talks about, but it's fantastic. I watched it with Kevin.
We need to see if we ever want to like have like a really good like oh shit night watching Prisoners with it's Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman, and
That's a stressful movie.
Riddler. What's the Riddler? What's his
Paul
name?
Dano?
Yeah, Paul Dano.
Yeah, that's
he was in
really-
that GameStop movie. That GameStop crash.
Yeah, the
yeah.
what do they call it?
I want to see it. I don't know. I don't know if it's any good.
GameStop Bros.
Yeah, it's about that.
It's the people who like.
I'm
fucked
trying to
Wall
think of the
Street.
name.
Yeah, I still want to see that. I don't
Market
know,
Bros or something like that.
I don't know if it was any good or not.
I think
but,
Market Bros is the actual title.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's Market
But
Bros.
but like that'd be a good. That's a good one where it's like I don't know. It's stressful as shit.
There's
but it's
another movie that like it was one of those B-list movies that it did horribly. I think
Jessica
box office,
B-list.
or it was either like it did horribly at the box office or it didn't even release. It went straight to DVD. But it's about it's with I forget her name, but it's with Samuel Jackson and it's the guy. This is a really weird pull, but have you seen Omen? It's with David Tennant and that other guy that plays
Bad
an
Omen?
angel.
Oh.
Bad
Yeah.
Omen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the guy the other guy that plays the angel.
He's apparently they're like David Tennant and him are like real good friends. in
They're
real
really
life.
good friends.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the next Doctor.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
That would have been a
Yes.
much better choice.
He was like they did like things and they were gonna do it and they're like, no, we need a black guy. So moving on. That guy and
I just want to see
Samuel
big
Samuel Jackson are in
personalities.
this movie and it's about
still
that
wanna
guy
see-
is like a terrorist and he puts like nuclear bombs all over like cities, and Samuel Jackson is like he's just a professional interrogator and he like interrogates this guy and the whole thing is about it and it looks super fucking stressful and pretty good where he like tortures him and is just and then Samuel Jackson's whole character is like my job is I'm an unhinged person that tortures people really well and they're like we can't do this and he's like he will kill like hundreds of thousands of people if I do not get this information. He's like what you're doing is not ethical. He's like it's one life over
versus a million.
yeah, he's like, it shouldn't matter what I do to him. And as he brings his like the guy's kids in, and it's really intense. But I was like, I can't believe like it barely, I've never seen anything about this movie before because I think it went straight to DVD.
This kind of brings in. I don't know why like it made me think of this, but I finished the Red Rising trilogy. Okay,
Okay,
book 1 through
because
3. I was on book 2 last time we talked about it, and so I've been like half audiobook, half reading it at home.
Yeah.
And I finished book 3 at work, and I'm waiting to start book 4 because book 3 ends in such a hopeful like we're good, there's hope for the future, and I just know because book 4 is 10 years later, and I've heard that the rest of the book series is just dark as shit. So I'm like, I want to be happy for a second before I move on. But there's a moment in book 3 where like one of the villains has nukes all over the moon, and he just straight up like he tells the main characters like kill yourself or I'm gonna blow some like the nukes up. He's like I'm not gonna kill myself. He goes oops and like presses a button, and like by the end of the book they straight up say like yeah there's like 7 point something million people are dead because this dude was just like willy-nilly being like haha oop there goes another city, oh they're going and like some of that. And I think the idea of that like the one life versus a million thing, because there was like a good like couple paragraphs of the main character Daryl gonna be like is my life worth all this shit. But dude, the book series is great. I think
if you were in that if you were in that scenario, what would you do?
I don't know.
It's the trolley problem.
Yeah, because it's the thing of
The 1 versus the 3.
Yeah.
well because
So
you
the
also
like you're talking about like the little kids when they showed like the train track.
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know because like it's kind of this idea of like am I because
that's different because you're not included and there's like
yeah if
self-preservation.
it's my life, because that's the thing, yeah there's a self-preservation thing, but also it's like
But also, like, in those scenarios, like, what's to stop him from doing it after you're dead?
that's what I'm saying is like there's not a for sure like
yeah.
you know what I mean. But like the trolley problem
Like,
of,
that, I don't really think that, like, especially if you've gone through, like, months of planning, millions of dollars, and you're you don't plan something unless you have the option of considering doing it.
Yeah.
You're just going to do it anyways, man.
True.
but
That's why we need to take down the trolley manufacturer.
yeah
That's
just
right.
stop trains, bro.
Yeah. Have you seen the TikToks where it's like it's my Arasaka Tower?
Yeah.
Where it's like you, me, Arasaka Tower, and it's like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. I love those. I've been getting a lot of them where it's like, it's been like it was like a bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen like faces, but one was like my substitute, my female teacher talking about how bad this abortion or like miscarriage really affected her life. It says, bro looking at me weird. It's like, if I laugh, it's all over. It's like a bunch of shit like that. I'll just scroll over. It's the face of just one of the, like, they've drawn the character with like the Chad face going. And it's all that where it's like something fucked up, I shouldn't laugh. Something fucked up, like my friend's trying to make me laugh, shit like that. And there was
it is a really weird occurrence that, like, I mean,
when you shouldn't laugh.
Yes, or like
because it spurs you to laugh.
Yeah,
because
like
it's
me and Kevin
funny...
all the time. Like, oh my god! I mean, there's so many occurrences, but one of them that's like most fond is it. I realized, like, it brought me back to like school days. So we were in a safety meeting, and it was at this big project that had like almost every Tuesday there was a safety meeting, and it was mandatory. They always made you have like safety glasses, hard hat, and reflective vest. Like, it was so dumb. And every time we do safety meetings, Kevin and I would just the whole time we would be like, we're just gonna joke, we're just gonna make fun, find a way to laugh at everything that's said. We're just gonna try to like, and it was like, I'm back in like high school. Like it wouldn't stop. And then we would get a safety meeting where they're like, we had in the safety meeting before we even could be like let on the job site, you have to like, or in the first week of being on a job site, you have to take the initial safety, like, what is it called? Like, lecture. And, you know, they're like, we got to wear hard hats. I'm going to show you a video of what happens if you don't wear a hard hat.
Was it one of those really shitty, like,
first thing
videos?
is, don't ask about her job.
Yeah. And so it was like, it ended up being a video of like a brick falling on a watermelon that didn't have, and the whole time we were just laughing and giggling
because those safety videos are always fucking hilarious.
But even
too.
her guided slideshow PowerPoint was like, this is so dumb, and we didn't care at all.
What was the one in the JonTron
You know.
video where they had like a musical number that was like it was like this woman singing about like, you need to wear what, and it's like this dude,
yeah, it sounded like Wing from South Park.
Yeah, that, bro. No, I've had that where like, this happened at work recently where like we were getting yelled at because like, oh, this that, and I look over at like one of my coworkers and he just pulls a face, and I was like,
dude, the fucking face. That's what I was gonna bring
Yeah.
up. That's the like middle school go-to is when the teacher's pissed off and yelling at the class. There's always one kid across the class that you're gonna make eye contact with, and he's gonna go,
yeah, and immediately
and you're gonna fucking die.
Dude, I mean, this is like, I don't just think it must be how my brain's wired, because even like, so do you remember when Starbucks was in hot water over that one time? Like,
it's the red cup thing where they got rid of the
when
the thing where they denied
the two
the
black
guy in the
guys,
bathroom.
yes, and then they called the cops. So they like shut down all the Starbucks for one day, and they required all of the people, unless it was like an emergency, everyone to come into work for like paid, paid
training.
Yeah, and sensitivity training. And the whole time, like, even though like most of the people I worked with, like most of them were all like trying to take it very seriously, I was just trying to get anybody I could to be like, write things like that were just like, my goal was like, I'm gonna take none of this serious. It just took the entire time. And my boss loved me. I mean, her name was Erin. Apparently she just did some fucked up stuff, but it never affected me. Like, she like apparently lied about
didn't do
having,
the fucked up stuff to
she
me.
like lied about having cancer, even though she had like an alcohol problem, and like would miss work or like show up late because of it. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she's awesome. Like, she got a new car that was like a Mini Cooper manual.
You told me the story, and she let you drive it.
Yeah, like at work when she got to work late, she's like, she's like, oh yeah, I got a new car and it's a Mini Cooper. I was like, that was like my first car was a manual Mini Cooper, and she's like, do you want to take it out for a ride? And I was like, yeah. And I was gone for like 30 minutes, just driving around the like Carruthers Cool Springs area. And but she was super chill, and I would do stuff to mess with her all the time. Or like I would like add in the Telegram group chat, and I just would like change my name to somebody else, and I would like put
And everybody would be like, done with your shit.
yeah, everyone was done with that. But my goal this just was like, I'm just gonna cause chaos.
When I started at Bed Bath & Beyond, it was kind of that environment because it was like everybody was cool except for the main manager, but the main manager was never around. So like me and the supervisors and like all the people that had been there forever would just like hang out in the back while I was like stocking stuff. Like there was this guy named Ethan, and then Jess was my supervisor, and Jess and Ethan would just come in the back and be like, "So what's going on? What's up?" And I'd be like, "Oh, just doing this shit," and they'd be like, "Stop that, like just hang out." I'd be like, oh, okay. I was stoked to come into work during that time, but then everybody left, and then I got shit hours, as you know.
30 minutes
That was
a
like,
week.
That was like that was like the darkest time for the podcast, where it's just like.
But that is also the time that I paid for I saved up my half of the commission for Taylor. So I did something good. I have to tell myself that.
Yeah.
I mean that.
And now that Bed Bath & Beyond is gone, so fuck all of you.
Are they really like
Bed Bath & Beyond is just done.
really?
The reason that we weren't getting hours is because the CFO was embezzling so much money from the company that they couldn't afford to pay anybody. And then it got found out and he killed himself and all the stores are gone.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I the one that's next to the Trader Joe's is not there anymore.
Gone.
Is it?
That's the one that I worked at.
Yeah. Is there anything there now?
I haven't been over there, but if
Okay.
it's probably already filled because that's a very popular shopping center.
Next
But-
to Trader Joe, anything next to Trader Joe's is popular.
I mean,
Sure as fuck ain't no Bed Bath & Beyond anymore, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they have a Trader Joe's. There's a GameStop. There's TJ Maxx.
Sun and Ski Sports.
Sun and Ski, like that's
which
actually
is
very
that
popular.
one is amazing that it's I guess it's Sun Sports, so that's
There used to be a really good wing place at the end of that, like across from the GameStop.
It was a good wing place, but they got fucked over for the health code because there was apparently like rats and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But the
To
wings
be fair,
were immaculate.
I feel like that would happen at a wings place. Some wings place can be like the trashiest place of all time.
Yeah, it was. It was. But it was the best.
Isn't it a hibachi place now? I think.
I think so,
Yeah,
which is gay.
I
Bring the
want
wings
to
back.
try it.
I haven't told it, but I'll say it on pod. It was like last week on like Friday. I went out to lunch
You
with.
good?
Yeah, I just had one of those random hiccups.
I went out to lunch with Ezra, and he was saying he was like, we should go to this place, Bolton's. It's right near kind of where I live, and it's close to where you're working. And I was like, okay, if I'm working there, I'll text you. So we go, and it's like a pretty hood place, but it's like my favorite kind of aesthetic. It's not like one of these like, it's in Nashville, but it's not one of these like Nashville like uppity places that the prices are jacked and all the food is pretentious and their vibes are pretentious. Like, it's not any of that. We go in, and it's a hot chicken and hot fish place, and I'm waiting there, and some like guy in like the office attire with his like button-up shirt with the Patagonia vest is saying like, hey, like anything over mild will just ruin your day. And I was like, yeah, like, shut up, pussy.
Did you mention Ezra was there already?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out
And-
Ezra.
And so we go in, and I can't handle spice that well. And so Ezra orders like it goes no spice, light, mild, and then it keeps on going up from there. And Ezra orders mild, and I was like, well, okay, I'll do light mild, because if I get no spice, then I might as well go to Zaxby's.
Zaxby's is good.
It is good, but like I'm at
You're at a hot chicken place. You want something spicy.
yeah. So I was like, I'll get it.
We have a sauce at Moe's. I don't know if you've tried it because you ordered there with that kick and cayenne sauce. It's basically just a spicier Zax sauce.
I've recently
Sounds
gone to
good.
Moe's, and I really like the birria.
Birria is so fucking good, dude.
It's very good.
That could just be me really tired of every other meat we have, but I've
The only one I would
eaten
get
birria.
is the seasoned chicken. I don't want ground beef.
Like
Steak's pretty good.
Yeah, but it gets too chewy sometimes.
Depends
Yeah,
on
that's true.
it depends on how long they cook it. 100%. No, dude, the birria is so fucking good.
It's very good.
I'm. It could just be that I'm so sick of every other meat option there. How long I worked there, but I'm just like, yo, this birria is so fucking great.
So we go and I order light mild because I was like, I'm not gonna do mild because Ezra's getting mild, and Ezra says that he can handle spice. So, and it's mild. It's called mild. We get our food. I start eating the first chicken tender, and it's the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
And I was really excited to like have lunch with a friend that I don't know too well, but I'm a person that likes to ask like questions and get to know people. I don't want to just be surface level the entire time. The best part is getting to know somebody and then having a friendship that is deeper. And so I was stoked about it. We didn't talk the entire. I could barely talk to him the entire time. It was so bad.
You were like on Hot Ones. And
It was
just
so, well. We were talking about how Hot Ones, like when people have spicy food, you do reach a level where like it's not you. I mean, some people it like if you get something spicy enough, you get like a euphoric thing afterwards where you're just like. But I reached a point where like had the first one, I had to get another drink because they didn't have a drink fountain. You just had to get a bottle of Coke. I demolished that, and after like half of this chicken tender, it was so bad. And then afterwards, I was like, well, I ordered. I need lunch. I need food. I can't just have one chicken wing. I need to finish the other two, and I did, but I could barely talk the whole time. And then afterwards, I was like, "Bye, Ezra. It was really fun. I'm sorry we didn't talk at all. I was just dying." And Ezra the whole time was blowing his nose. I was like crying.
That's exactly how it is every time I go to House of India with Taylor and Joey, because we'll sit down. The last time we went was fucking bullshit, by the way. We went and we sat down. Taylor and Joey both ordered the 10 level spice on their curry. And I was like, yeah, let's do a 9. And then the waiter looks at me and he goes, are you sure? And I was like, are you fucking serious? Yeah, I'm sure. Like, that's what I want. And then Taylor and Joey started calling me a pussy. And then the waiter was like, oh, fuck it, 10. So we're all sitting there eating this curry and we're all like crying and like, and it fucking hurt. But afterwards, it was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I still love when we went to House of India because I was last in line. I got shafted with the extra shit that they didn't.
Oh yeah,
pay
the
for.
stuff that we assumed they were giving us for free.
Because I was like, I only ordered this. It's like, well, you guys got this. I'm like, and I was the only one.
There's like 2 orders of the naan bread.
Yeah, and so I'm just like
an extra pot of curry.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay.
Or it was just like extra white rice.
Yeah, and so I'm like, all right, cool. And so I just threw my credit card in, but I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
So we inside there, they were like, be careful, like don't touch your eyes, and it even said don't touch your face or babies after eating.
Don't touch your babies
without like washing your hands. And I was like, dang, that's pretty crazy. On my way home, or like after
I
lunch,
touched 3 babies on my way home.
I did this. I just went like this, and then all of a sudden it just started burning. And so like on Siri, I was like, text Ezra, I fucked up. And then he was like, what? And I was like, I touched my nose. It's on fire right now, and I'm having to drive through Nashville traffic.
At least you didn't touch your pee hole.
Dude, 100%.
Fuck.
And then like 45 minutes later, I just had diarrhea.
He got that
dude.
euphoric feeling, and you're just like, I'm gonna go beat off real quick, and then immediately the door closes, and you just hear,
horrific.
fuck.
It's,
I think the last hot chicken place I went to was Bishop's, which is that one by Jason's Deli in Cool Springs.
yeah.
It's pretty good. But that's also like a meat and 3 spot that they also have hot chicken on. Which
Do you, I mean, have you ever been to like Hattie B? Even though it's like it's so not overrated, it's just one of those things that's not worth going to because it's become just such a high traffic area.
You know what's not worth going to is that First Watch, that breakfast spot.
I
It's
agree.
so fucking expensive.
I agree.
And the breakfast isn't that good.
I agree. Some
It's
people
not that fucking good.
That's a hot take because I said that to somebody. I was like, "Fuck First Watch. They have like barely anything with like meat.
I'm gonna be
anything.
honest.
It's all like
I'd much rather just
avocado
go to Waffle House.
toast and like
like
other stuff. It's like no, give me like bacon, sausage.
Is that the place that's kind of near Genghis Grill?
Yes.
Yeah.
That place fucking sucks.
I agree. I said that though.
Oh wait, no. Well,
people
that like brunch place that's near Gang Show. That's not First Watch. No.
Oh well, that place fucking sucks too.
Okay, I haven't been there. First Watch. There's one near.
There is one near.
Is he? Well, there's that one.
There's one on off of Main Street on Spring Hill, which was near.
Oh, that's not
a
what I'm talking.
Mongolian
I'm talking
grill.
about Cool Springs.
Oh, okay.
No, the one by Cool Springs is like some brunch spot.
Yeah, they suck balls.
The First Watch.
Oh, it's called like Timothy.
Yeah.
Jamaicans.
Yeah, something like that.
Timothy Chalamet's breakfast spot.
It's like a first person's name as like the name.
The First Watch in Cool Springs is near where Firehouse and the hotel is. It's in that. I think it's like right in that area, but it's fucking awful. Like it's not good. And when I walked out of there, I'm like, how much I spent? I was like, what the fuck did you feed me?
First Watch though. I said that, and people were like, oh, I love First Watch. No, First Watch sucks. They don't have any like. The one that is really good that's near Main Street is Big Bad Breakfast. That place rocks. They got great cocktails, really good coffee. They have a Thai coffee. They have really. I'm not a big grits person, but they have a cheesy grits with.
That's high praise, because grits are just hot garbage.
I agree. But they had this huevos rancheros grits, and it came with apple chicken sausage, like little tortilla chips, salsa, poached eggs. It's my favorite thing I order, and I'm not a big grits person.
The thing with grits is you have to put stuff in it, because like I know people who just eat grits off rip, and I'm like, no, absolutely not.
It has to be like
gotta put cheese in there, gotta put butter in there.
If
gotta
something comes with grits, I'm gonna tell them to replace it with a hash brown casserole.
Yeah. Oh, if my option is grits or hash browns, I'm going hash browns.
Hash brown casserole is definitely better.
Yeah.
At Biscuit Love, their cheesy grits are crazy. Their hash brown casserole is better.
Yeah.
But again, amazing cheese grits at Biscuit Love. If you're ever around there.
I mean, that's my thing. If my mom will make grits, and she knows that I cannot stand like just the simple salt and pepper shit that they'll do, where she'll make grits and then she'll pour it out for me in another one, pour cheese, butter, whatever else in there, and that's like, oh, that's, and my dad will go, who's that? I was like, that's Luke's, and then I'll come up with my big old bowl and I'm like, thank God.
Man, old Southern people just be eating anything as long as it doesn't have flavor.
Yeah, well, it depends, because they're like, if they make like a good thing of baked beans, like this maple, like they'll use like maple honey, and like sugar, like a good
traditional sweet tea.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, yes, you can't beat Southern sweet tea, but the thing is, like,
their chicken is never seasoned.
Yeah, like country fried steak, dog shit.
They'll season ham. That's about it. But it's like a honey.
I will say at first, because I was thinking
honey ham is good.
Yes.
Usual like traditional what is it? Biscuits and gravy.
No.
The gravy isn't super flavorful.
No. Yeah.
That's
why I love Marcy Joe's so much, because it was so chock full of sausage.
That's the thing, is it's usually just sausage, gravy, and then salt and pepper, and that's very not a lot. But yeah, if you have a lot of like huge chunks of sausages, it just is.
That's one thing about working at the hotel.
The gravy just becomes a delivery method.
Yeah. Whenever an old person checks in at the hotel, they always go, so what's around here to eat? Instead of pulling out their goddamn cell phone and looking, they'll be like, so what's for dinner around here? And I'll be like, well, there's a ramen place right behind us, really good. I'll go there sometimes. There's a Cheesecake Factory. They're like, what the hell is that?
I don't know, Raymond.
But I'm like, yeah, Cheesecake Factory right over there in the mall. Like, if you're looking for pure variety, that's where you want to go. Like, there's an Outback Steakhouse across the bridge over there, and they all go, and then at the end of it, it always ends with, where's the Cracker Barrel? I'm like, I'll fucking kill you. Why didn't you just ask that first thing off rip?
It's funny because like I like Cracker Barrel, but it's one of those things where I'm like,
I go there so rarely, and it has to be in the right mood.
It's a once in a blue moon thing where I like it when I go, but I'm never going. Because
here's
the thing: crave
9 times out of 10,
you know
I would prefer a Waffle House over a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, Waffle House fire.
100%.
I prefer IHOP over.
Bro, if that IHOP didn't close down near where I used to live,
have you ever
I would
been to the Ruby Sunshine in downtown?
I've never heard those two words put together.
So Ruby Sunshine is like a brunch chain that was originally like a Louisiana chain.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Because after I left Biscuit Love, we would just go to Biscuit Love because they would always comp a lot of stuff for me, and I knew the menu and what was good. But then we were like, let's try this other place around the corner. It's in the main circle in Franklin Square.
Oh.
It's right across from the Baskin Robbins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in that corner building. They have really good eggs Benedict. Have you ever had?
I've never had eggs Benedict before.
Their eggs Benedicts are so good because they do like, some of it's like eggs scotchone, which is like classic muffin. What is it called when they do the egg and water? Poached egg.
Water egg.
Then water egg. Poached egg hollandaise, which is just egg sauce, like egg sauce.
Yeah.
And then this slow roasted pork. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ruby Sunshine is really good. They have really good margarita or not margaritas. What are they called? Forgetting everything.
Is it the champagne one? Mimosas?
Yeah, mimosas. Really good mimosas.
I love a good mimosa.
There's one thing that I've never had in my entire life in this kind of vein, but I've never been to Denny's. I've never had the Grand Slam.
Denny's is pretty good.
That's the thing. I hear so much like shit about it, but then like
it's not a good environment at all.
No,
but the food is solid.
I'm fond of Denny's and IHOP because
I hear people talk about Denny's. Like the people who like it will go, "Look, you never want to be in a Denny's, but fuck, that food's pretty good." Yeah,
we don't have.
There's one in the truck stop in Fairview that's manageable. I'd recommend going to that one.
you know, we don't have any, like, at least when I was growing up, any Waffle Houses close to me. They do exist, but really they're not big, at least in LA. But I mean, it's the same thing that happens here. Is like almost every school dance that Carmen and I would go to, like, you know, winter formal, prom, any of those, we would find a place to eat afterwards, and it would always be either Denny's or IHOP, and it was always a really good time. And that's where everyone would go. I mean, even like here, everyone would go to a Waffle House.
Yeah, I mean,
after a prom.
Waffle House
that's
late
where
night.
we'd always go.
Yeah.
Waffle House late night just hits different.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
so
you
does
could go
like
for breakfast,
two in the
whatever,
afternoon, the day after you've been drinking.
Yeah, like
goes so hard.
it like that. It's perfect hangover food. It's perfect. I'm drunk now food.
Yeah.
like it's something about Waffle House that just hits. And
They just need to
that
call.
grease.
I know it's like has like legacy, but they really just need to call it like the hash brown house.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, because they only serve waffles with either pecans or chocolate chips
And peanut butter.
mixed in.
Well, they'll put it's
Like
it's,
those chips.
It's
right?
the peanut butter like
On-
chips, but they're melted by that point when they come out to you.
okay.
So you just kind of slather
Okay,
around.
so they have
yeah. So it's peanut butter waffle. Yeah.
Three different options.
That's my
for
go-to is
waffles.
the peanut butter waffle. It's so fucking good. Yeah, it should be like a hash brown thing 'cause they have so much. Have you ever ordered an actual like non-breakfast item at Waffle House? Because I've never done it.
I've had. I mean, I don't know if you consider Patty Melt's breakfast, but
No, it's a lunch like thing, I guess. Yeah, 'cause it's like a turkey.
I have
mean,
had
the-
their patty
they're pretty
milk.
solid.
They
It's been a while since
I've never had like a burger. Or
yeah, don't
anything
get a
at
burger
Waffle
or
House.
chicken sandwich because they do have those. Don't they also apparently they have a grilled cheese, which is the most basic. It's just the American cheese.
I feel like you can't fuck that up, but I feel like they would.
But
Me and
also
Luke-
don't get that when you're at Waffle House.
Me and Luke went to a Waffle House after one of your parties one time.
we did. Wait, yeah. When was this? It was,
I can't even. It must have been after your birthday or something.
when
but-
you both were leaving, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good visit.
I mean, Waffle House never. I've never had like an actual bad experience at a Waffle House.
Almost.
I mean,
Sometimes I've only had it bad when it's like late at night, or you know, it's like late at night and only one person's there to take orders,
and they don't want to fucking be there.
Or yeah, they're like, I'm so sorry. There's only one person here and one cook, and there's like 15 other people there, and it's like, okay, I've had to wait like 20 minutes for my food or 30 minutes.
I always feel bad because like I working in the food industry, anytime I see a spot where it's like it's about to close, if I could see they're short staffed, I'm like, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna try to find somewhere else because I'm like I feel bad because I've seen it. I've been on the other side where it's like, yo, I fucking hate this shit. Speaking of that, I had to fucking deal with that on Sunday. I just got told when I got there, they're like, hey, by the way, there's a 36 person order that you have to get done by 6:30, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
How much time did you have?
Well, I had the whole day, but again, you have to like, you can't have those sitting out. So we had to like we started making them around like 5, and we got busy. So I'm like, there's a line.
So you get pulled away from the thing.
Well, no. So there is a line of people. I have online orders, and I have this 36 order thing. So I'm doing like 3 of them at a time, telling someone, "Hey, just give me 1 second." And some of these people, you could tell, were getting like pissy, where they're just like, and like waiting for me to finish. I'm like, "All right, what can I do for you?" Blah blah, all this stuff. And by the time we ended it, I finally got all that stuff done, put it in the hot box. Everything's ready to go. I'm like, all right, they'll get here. They'll pay for it. Cool. They're late. We're still busy. I've got like a bunch of onlines coming through, and then they finally get here, and then they go, "Oh yeah, we have a tax exempt form." I'm like, I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm gonna
tax
have an
exempt
aneurysm.
fucking sucks no matter what business you're in.
It's easy for me because there's just a remove tax button, but I then have to take the fucking like
Not at the
file
hotel.
to
You
the
got to
back.
go
Yeah.
through and you got to put in a request for tax exempt, and then you got to go up to the payment option and like remove it. It's bullshit.
No, bro, that shit was like by the end of that night, I was like, I'm going home and going right the fuck to bed.
I thought I was gonna have to fight a whole Waffle House full of people one time because it was a going away party for my friend Dustin, who was moving up to like fucking Montana or something to run on trains, which is the weirdest career choice. Which he's back now, so fuck
work
it,
out.
whatever. Yeah, he went right at the start of COVID.
Don't you
and
love
then-
it when you have friends that do goodbye parties and then they stick around and then they go goodbye again and then they come
Well,
back?
he
and then
did leave.
and then they come back and then they're gonna leave again.
Well, he's not leaving now. He left that time.
I'm talking about other friends that we know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we're not having a party.
Yeah.
So, goodbye. But this guy, we had a party for him, and we were like, "This is our last night with Dustin. Let's fucking do it up." And it was me, Dustin, and then our friend Tristan, who is no longer with us. We were blasted, and Trevor, who you've met, Didn't get off until like midnight.
Oh, he's met his imaginary friend now?
I'll fucking kill you. But Trevor shows up at like midnight, 1:30.
I mean, he's still mythical to me.
yeah, I mean, he doesn't understand Trevor,
Are
but
you
he has
are you
seen
sure
him.
it wasn't a fever dream you
That's
had?
what I'm saying. I agree. It's been in the weirdest circumstances. The first time was encountering
theater?
at the bathroom at the movie, and the second time, which was weirder, because I didn't expect to hang out with BJ at the movie theater. It was like I'm
Yeah,
I'm here, BJ's here.
I mean, I didn't expect to see you at all. Which
But
is,
this weird time was when Trevor came over to borrow an Xbox controller and didn't hang out, didn't do anything, and was said hi and then goodbye. That was really weird.
yeah, that's Trevor.
Yeah, I've never met Trevor at all, but like
I've never met the kid.
You would know Trevor if you saw him. I swear to God.
Would I?
You went to Hillsborough with him for like 7 years.
Was he in my grade?
He was in my grade.
So I probably wouldn't have known him. Like I didn't know many of the people in
the
your
classrooms
grade.
at Hillsborough were one grade on this side, and then the other grade one door down.
Did you have a picture?
No, Trevor doesn't take pictures. He's not on anything. He's a fucking ghost.
Yeah, dude.
Which is my biggest problem with
Yeah,
Trevor.
he might not be real.
He fucking exists, and he's in this story.
BJ's gaslighting us.
I'll kill you. I'm gonna
Is
kill
this
myself.
is this like Joey talking about the birds in Walmart?
Dude,
No,
what's the movie about with John Cena?
Ricky Snicky?
Yeah, dude, he's Ricky. You just had
Trevor's
a guy.
Ricky
Yeah,
Snicky.
he just had a guy that's like, oh my gosh, Matt's,
I'm gonna call Trevor after this and tell him to come over.
and it's gonna be another person. That I don't. Yeah.
I fucking hate you guys. Why do all my friends do this?
Matt's like, that's not Trevor.
Anyway, me, Dustin, Tristan, all pissed drunk. Trevor shows up completely sober after work. And then Tristan says, let's go to Waffle House. So we drive from
Is it Tristan Yarborough or no?
No, Tristan Hargrove.
Oh, okay.
And we drove from Dustin's house, which is in like Thompson Station, to Cool Springs, the one by the interstate, and we walk in and it's packed full of people. There's like an interracial couple making out by the window, and there's like people just lining the walls, and it's really weird. But there's one open table, and we just go over to it and sit down, and then everybody starts like yelling at us, like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't sit there." We're like, "Why?" And they're like, "They haven't cleaned it yet." And apparently all the other people around the walls were waiting for tables, and we didn't know. And Tristan just starts getting froggy, and he's like, "We're gonna have to fight all these people." And I'm like, "Fuck, okay, let's go." And then Trevor's like, "Nope, we're going to fucking Steak and Shake. Let's go." So we go across the street and we wait in the Steak and
the
Shake.
one on Murfreesboro Road.
Yeah. And we're waiting in that parking lot for like an hour and a half in the drive-thru because none of us realized that they're not 24 hours anymore. And then, we just kind of went home. Tristan shit his pants getting out of the car. It was just a weird time.
I feel like those are the moments where you remember the most, where it's like nothing really fucking happened, but like...
Yeah, it was
but
just
you
camaraderie.
But you remember how aggressively nothing happened that made it funnier and more
Well,
memorable.
there's like things like that. It's like there's nights that it's like it's all a blur. I don't remember like things, but then I vividly remember like very weird things in the night. But the rest, I'm like, I don't know how that led to that.
Yeah.
But I remember this.
It's the brownout.
Yeah, 100%.
We need to have another night like that, like a House of India. Go somewhere, do something where it's just like, let's get a little tipsy, let's go out and eat, let's do something. Just not necessarily spontaneous, because I feel like none of us have that. Like,
Well, I'm trying to go to Otaku before it. Not Otaku, Shabu Shabu before it warms up and it's gross inside.
We should go to that one in Franklin and try that out.
Yeah, but I heard it's not actually like a hot pot place.
Oh.
what's
that's disappointing.
where's the Shabu Shabu you want to go to?
West End.
Are you free Thursday?
No, I work Thursday.
Fuck, never mind.
But I'm off all weekend.
I work all weekend.
Gay.
But Shabu Shabu is always open late.
I can probably like see if I can call out or something if we want to try to plan.
Well,
for
like
something.
if we went at 9 and then Shabu Shabu always takes forever and just be like, there's a fourth person coming, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we just ask for a table, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Hell yeah. Well, we're an hour 20-ish in. Anything else you boys want to talk about besides our sponsor, Dubby?
you just go take a sleazy at checkout to save yourself 10%.
I want to mention we watched Ninja Kamui last week.
The new episode's out.
The first episode was pretty fire.
Really fire.
Yeah.
Goes way too hard.
I'm very excited because I think like seeing Sung-Hoo Park direct just and go balls to the walls crazy with it. I'm super down for.
It also makes me look forward to the Lazarus Project, which is that anime that is directed by the person who did Cowboy Bebop and the director of John Wick.
Yeah,
I bet that's gonna go hard.
It's gonna go pretty hard. They're doing an anime. I forget which studio, but they're doing that. The One Piece creator's original one shot he did. They're doing a movie based on that called Monster, I think. But there's a lot of like really cool like kind of indie
Kaiju number
8 I think it's gonna be fun, but I think
it's gonna go hard.
I think it's gonna go about as hard as
not
Mashal.
as
I think it's gonna go about as hard
Go-Go
as Mashal.
Luger Ranger.
I think Gogo's gonna go harder than Kaiju. I think Kaiju's gonna go about as hard as Mashal does, unless it hits like an audience. Because I think,
but Mashal is satirical.
Yeah,
and,
but like,
I mean, Mashal's One Punch Man set in the Harry Potter world.
Well, the reason I say because
Which is funny.
Kaiju number 8's really cool, and I think people are gonna like it if the fight scenes are good. That's the kicker. Because like other than that, it's like a pretty just standard story. Like, but the difference is our main character is a middle-aged man, not a 17-year-old prodigy of whatever the fuck.
More like usually it's like 13-year-old.
Yeah, well, I'm being generous. But like, yeah, so that's the only like difference. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But I think Kaiju number 8's great. I still to this day want Sakamoto Days to get a fucking anime adaptation. That shit is so fire.
Yeah, it's weird that hasn't happened yet.
For how fucking long it's been going on too. Like we're in 100 something chapters.
Maybe people just don't care about middle-aged men.
They don't.
With guts.
That's the thing. If people didn't care, then Sakamoto Days would have been canceled like way too long ago. But apparently, it's fucking.
It's different to.
If people didn't care about middle-aged men, Yakuza Like a Dragon wouldn't have sold so fucking well, and Infinite Wealth wouldn't be
like
the best-selling game.
Yeah, but they're middle-aged. Yeah, but it started off with not middle-aged. Handsome guys.
The first one started off with Kiryu as like a 35-plus-year-old. Zero was made after all that, so he's been middle-aged.
But even in Zero, he's like 25.
Yeah, which is
not middle-aged.
He's getting there.
Tell me your knees aren't fucked at 25.
My back is pretty rough, dude.
Plus you're 30, so.
Plus you're older.
Plus you're older than even that.
Plus you're older than Kiryu was in Zero, and look at you now, you old, dumb,
old fuck,
dumb,
you old decrepit skeleton
more
of
like
a human.
The more like the lazy sloth of
Dojimu.
And with that,
take it sleazy.
I've been trying to in these last couple podcasts not get up immediately after saying it because I have to like cut it so fast after you say take it because I'm immediately like
I have to turn it off so that it doesn't run for 3 days.